Good evening and welcome to full council. Okay, item 1, apologies for absence, but I think this time, Jennifer, you're just going to do a roll call of the councillors that are here.
Yeah, Lord Mayor, we've got, I make it 14 councillors here, and going round the room, we've got Councillor Brown, Councillors Hollingsworth, Lackings, Hayes, Rowley, Upton, Thomas, Fry, Diggins, Cook, Fairweather, Wade, Gant, Goddard, Wolfe and yourself. Could I ask people to turn their nameplates round? Thank you.
Item 2, declarations of interest. I don't see any hands raised. Okay. Item 3, appointments to committees. Over to Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Can I just, for the sake of anyone watching the meeting, clarify that we deliberately asked councillors to not come in large numbers to this meeting. So we did encourage our group members not to attend because there is only one item of business. And I just think, in fairness to all of those councillors who have given their apologies, it's important that we recognise that that has happened for a reason, which is just so that we can have as few of us in a room as is necessary to carry out this piece of relatively uncontroversial business. Apologies, that wasn't the item we were on, but I thought it was important to put it on the record. So the item is appointment to committees, and we had originally put forward Councillor Ammar Latif as our representative on the Joint Health Overview and Scrutiny Committee, subject to him checking that it was possible for him to do with his other role, which is as a GP, and actually on reflection it is not. So we are replacing him with Councillor Nala Hartley. So just to notify people of that. Thank you.
And just for clarification, no other changes. Okay, item 4, announcements. First one's usually Lord Mayor. I've got nothing to announce, well I have, but I'm going to wait till the next full council for councillors to be here. And I'm going to open up to the Deputy Lord Mayor. Is there anything you'd like to announce? Sheriff?
Just say we haven't lost the Aunt Sally match yet, so...
that Reverend Anthony Buckley just wants to say a couple of words. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Lord Mayor. Thank you, everybody. My apologies for missing the last meeting. And new councillors whom I have not met, it's lovely to see you. Not quite so new councillors whom I've met before, it's lovely to see you as well. Privileged to be together again. Some of us may know that Ethel Drader died this day, roughly in the year 678. And she was known as someone of great simplicity of lifestyle, of passion and commitment and wisdom. And she founded and ran an abbey in Ely and is long remembered. If we know anybody or if any of us are called Audrey, that's where the name comes from. So we honour the Audreys today. As I was preparing for this evening, I thought of our wonderful council and people of simplicity of lifestyle and passion and wisdom. And it's lovely to be with you tonight.
Thank you very much. A pleasure as always. Okay, that takes us to the Chief Executive.
Yep, just one announcement briefly, Lord Mayor, and that's to notify Council of the formation of a new political group on the Council called the Independents. Has 2 members, Councillor Malik and Councillor Haynes. Councillor Malik will be the group leader and Councillor Haynes will be the deputy leader. And as the new group will be entitled to some seats on committees, a review of the political balance and seats on committees is underway and will be reported to Council on the 26th of July. That's it.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it. Okay, under announcements, Councillor Brown.
Nothing further, thank you.
Nothing further, thank you very much. That takes us to item 5, public addresses, but I believe there isn't any, but I'm under the understanding that there may be some residents from the Neighbourhood Forum meeting attending. I can't see anybody, but no. Okay. Item 6, Cabinet recommendations, Wolvercote Neighbourhood Plan, and over to Alex Hollingsworth.
Thank you very much, Lord Mayor. I shall be very brief, and I'm sure the ward councillors might wish to add a few words if they so wish. The Wolvercote Neighbourhood Plan has been a long time in gestation. It would have been approved this time last year, but the referendum, which has to be held at the end of the process, was postponed along with the 2020 elections and therefore was only held in 2021. The referendum passed the neighbourhood plan overwhelmingly. Cabinet therefore recommends to Council that the Wolvercote neighbourhood plan be made and that we delegate responsibility in consultation with myself to the Head of Planning Services to make any editorial corrections before making the Wolvercote neighbourhood plan part of this Council's local plan. And just before you interrupt me, I'd like to put on record my very sincere thanks to the many residents of Wolvercote and the groups who've contributed to the making of the plan. It's a huge effort and one which shows not just a commitment to local democracy, but a great knowledge of their community as well. And this is hugely appreciated.
Thank you very much, and I think that's echoed by everybody at Council. Okay, do we have a seconder, please?
Yes, please, my Lord Mayor, if that's okay. And just to say very, very briefly, I'm sure that all members of the Council here present will pay tribute to the consistent good sense of the people of Wolvercote when it comes to voting. And in particular, on this day of all days, people will be aware of what this is the 5th anniversary of. It's very good to see a referendum result which has gone unequivocally and by a large majority the right way. Alex has already referred to the fact that many people, but in particular the Neighbourhood Forum Steering Committee, have worked very, very hard indeed towards this plan. And that's included engaging with the people of Wolvercote, explaining what is not always the most straightforward. Local government is not always something in which people are expert or necessarily closely engaged, and the work that the steering committee have done in letting people know what the neighbourhood plan is about is exemplary. And in particular, again, as Alex has just said, the knowledge of the area, of the communities, of the resources of Wolvercote and vicinity shown in the plan is also exemplary. So power to their elbows. I very much hope that we'll be passing this or agreeing to this entirely unanimously. Thanks very much.
Thank you. And I suppose a special thanks also goes to Alex and the planning officers also at the same time. Any more speakers? Councillor Wade.
Thank you very much, Lord Mayor. Councillor Goddard has told you what an amazing community this is, and under Christopher Hardman, it's been working for 10 years to achieve this plan, and finally, this is the day. So it's very exciting for us. You have to have lived in Wolvercote for 25 years before you're accepted as a local, so I don't qualify, but I have been incredibly impressed by the work that's gone into this over a long time. And now the long-awaited future has become the present, and we're going to start working on a raft of projects that local people have put forward for the consideration of the Neighbourhood Forum. So the next 10 years are going to be quite exciting as well, and we're all looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any more speakers? Councillor Wolfe.
I had a question about it. Is it the moment to ask it?
Of course, let's go.
It is, okay. Thank you, yeah. I mean, clearly we're deeply appreciative of all the work that's gone on. I have no illusions about what that's involved. And congratulations that they've come up with a plan. But I do have one question about it. I thought it would be worth asking this in public just to avoid any potential confusion, because I was a little bit thrown by one particular paragraph, which I'll quote. And it rang bells with me because I used to live in North Oxford, and this was something that we saw quite a lot of along my road, in fact, and it was a little bit contentious. Para 6 in the opening paragraphs, it's page 22 of our PDF, and it's page 10 of the plan itself. And I quote, There should be a strict limit on the practice of infilling and the replacement of single dwellings by multiple properties to control density and car ownership. That's what it says in paragraph 6. And there was quite a lot of that happened along Victoria Road. It was very well done, I have to say, but it wasn't entirely uncontentious. There's two things about that. One is the general thrust of our local plan is densification. So I'm not sure how coherent that is with our own local plan. The other thing is that in the neighbourhood plan itself, there's no specific policy that refers to that. So despite it saying there should be a strict limit on the practice of, there's no policy that refers to that. And my concern is really that, you know, clearly we're going to support this neighbourhood plan, but there may be residents out there who read one but not the other and want to object to a particular development proposal. And if it's not absolutely clear, I'm sure Alex can answer this query, but I thought it would be good to tease it out in public.
Appreciate that. Okay, over to you, Alex.
Yeah, sorry, it took quite a while to download the actual neighbourhood plan onto my phone, so I've now got to the paragraph about 2 seconds before. If I recollect correctly and have read it correctly, that text comes at the beginning as a sort of statement of principles. The essence of neighbourhood plans is that they must be congruent in their policies with the local plan. They cannot contradict the local plan. And this neighbourhood plan and the previous neighbourhood plans, if you follow their progress through, there is an exercise when a planning inspector goes through the proposed policies and, you know, in layman's terms, applies a red pen to quite a significant number of policies which are not congruent with either national planning policy or the local plan, and that happened with this plan in much the same way. And it's a constructive process. I mean, sometimes it's a no, you just can't say that, and other times it will be you can't say that, but you could say this kind of process. So there is an element of toing and froing, and certainly planning officers have worked for many months. So yes, this was the paragraph you quote is the sort of statement of general principles that the forum had at the beginning of the process, but it is not the planning policies. The policies themselves are the things that are labelled as policies. So in exactly the same way as in the local plan, it is the policies that are the policies, and the surrounding text helps to give a bit of context, but are not the policies. The same is true of any neighbourhood plan, including this one.
Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying that. Okay, any more speakers? No. Back over to you, Councillor Alex Hollingsworth, to sum up, please.
I hope, like the other speakers, we can have unanimity. As somebody who's very aware of St Etheldreda, having been to school in Ely, it seems extraordinarily auspicious that we should be using this particular day. And like Steve, I like referendums which come up with the right answer by substantial majorities rather than what I would regard as the wrong answer by quite a small majority. So let's, I think, probably collect our winnings on this one and vote to adopt, to make, the Wolvercote Neighbourhood Plan as part of our local plan.
Well put, thank you very much. Okay, let's put it to the vote. Those for, raise your hands, please.
That's 18 Lord Mayor, and there are 18 in the room.
Okay, obviously that means there are no against and no abstaining, so that is carried. Thank you very much. Which takes us to item 7, to close the meeting and ask everybody to safely disperse, and thank you very much. The meeting is now closed.